Committee for August 1st. And we are running a little bit late, but we now have a quorum, so let's get started. Roll call, please.
Manning.
Here.
Here.
Cosgrove. Frank.
Here.
Severson. Fleming. Here. And it looks like we have Mr. Williamson as well.
We do.
So you actually then have five. Right.
That works. All right. So we do have a little bit of a tight schedule today for some of the events going on, so we're going to kind of plow through the agenda today. Verification of open meetings compliance. All right. Thank you very much. Approval agenda. We have an 11-point agenda. Looking for a motion. Gary, motion to approve the agenda. Looking for a second. Second. Julie gives a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Approval of the minutes from June 6, 2025. Fleming makes a motion. Looking for a second. Manning seconds. Further discussion? As long as you review them, you can second. Okay, I second. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Sounds good. Public comment. That's passed. Public comment. Any public comment from anybody in the room or online? Request number 2, public comment. Gone. Request number 3, any public comment? All right, hearing none, moving on to reports. Item number 7, Sheriff Department activities.
So for the month of July, we had 42,101 in vouchers, 37 inmate bookings. Average number housed was 28. 350 monthly complaints, 44 citations issued, 19 civil process papers served, 8 transports on the month, and 4 on electronic monitoring. For dispatch activity, we had 586 calls for service, 96 calls for EMS, 125 calls for the police department, and 8 calls for the fire department.
And again, I want to thank you for adding the fire department calls on that. That's just RC Fire Department. That does not include the other ones in the county.
Correct. That's just Richland Center Fire. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So staffing memo, Aaron put an updated staffing memo in. Trying to think what we have for changes since this went in.
I think it's Casey and Maria left.
Yeah, Casey and Maria left. Both went to probation and parole. We have hired, Aaron and I met with Matthew Frederick this week. We interviewed Matthew for a road position back in probably December or January-ish. Went all the way through the interview process. We reached out to him this week to see if he was interested in a jail position because we have the 2 open jail positions, and he was. So we sat down and met with him and then extended him a conditional offer. So working through that stuff, but we should have him starting here shortly.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Anything else? Any questions for the sheriff on those topics?
It also just quick note, we have met with Trish and the team on the budget, and so we've did some cleanup on our initial budget proposal, just cleaned up some numbers that with things changing with the radio project and stuff like that, we made some small adjustments, but we did present a budget. It's a 0.9% increase, I think is where we ended at. But we have been working on the budget, so.
Okay.
And the squad miles are in there too. Not a whole lot to change there. They just started working on one of our cars being built, so hopefully next week they'll be done with one of our new squad cars. Yeah, we're currently down a squad car sitting in our bay. he released an inmate, went out and threw a brick through the windshield, so that's up for repairs hopefully this week still.
Never surprised.
And there was a rock through a window.
Yep, there's a rock through the window, a window in the courthouse as well.
Yes.
So,
Same individual?
yes, yeah.
I picked up a piece of glass my way in today. That was just, you noticed was still up there.
Yeah.
That's the importance of security and monitoring. Very good. All right. Anything else?
I believe so.
Okay. We will then move on to department activities. Coroner. Everything from the coroner?
There was one in the folder.
Right, other than no reports otherwise, other than what's in the folder, anybody? Okay. All right, so yes, the document is in the folder for the coroner, and you can review that. It's. All right, moving on, circuit court judge department activities.
All right, good morning. I'll talk really fast. So the most exciting thing is that everyone should know that Richland County has been chosen as the site for the newly reinstated Justice on Wheels program. That is a program through the Supreme Court of Wisconsin Court Operations. They had this program up until I think few years ago, about 5 years ago. And they are reinstating that. It's called Justice on Wheels. They're slated to come to Richland County on Monday, October 27. And what it is it's an actual, real, live oral argument from of the Supreme Court of Wisconsin. So what they'll do is they'll come here, all 7 justices, and they'll hear actual oral arguments of a case that's before them in the morning. And then they will remain here and have their private conference afterwards. It's pretty exciting because it's a nice way to sort of bring what actually happens to different parts of the state. It's never happened here. It's a big deal. So we've had a meeting with the folks there. It's also nice timing. People probably know that recently retired Chief Justice Ann Walsh Bradley is a Richland Center native.
Yes.
She was born and raised here. So she spent decades on the court, recently became the Chief Justice before her retirement. And we would like to find and probably utilize this date as an opportunity to honor her. And she's up to that. And we plan on getting a portrait of her to hang in the courtroom. So that's exciting. Stacy Kleist is spearheading that particular project. The public is invited. From what I understand, there will be an essay contest for elementary school children to help engage them and engage some interest. So we've been looking around the courtroom. What do we need to do? We had a visit from the security folks, and that was an interesting visit, looking at what the Supreme Court will need to actually come and attend here. So that's the most exciting thing. Moving on, I just wanted to point to Stacy's report. I'm not going to steal her thunder. I'm sure she's going to talk about it, but she sent a report to this committee. Oh, I got it by email. And a couple of things. She talks about the aging polygon system. I want to just commend her. Her report, I think, is very well written and easy to digest. It helps. It's a nice picture into what the circuit court does, and certainly what the circuit court does. One little detail that really sticks out to me and probably will continue to stick out to me is that in 2024, circuit court handled 3,000 cases. And when you break that down, that's 600 cases a week. That's more than 100 cases a day. Now, certainly not all cases are created equal, and some of them just take mere minutes. But it just goes to show that there's a lot going on, and I don't think the public really understands how much moves through the circuit court. and that we need, and we have competent, skilled, hardworking staff. And without that, everything would come to just a grinding halt. So I'm going to let her talk about that. But I appreciate her report, and it was very thoughtfully and done with a lot of detail. The two committees that I had, courthouse security, courthouse and facilities security committee, as well as the criminal justice committee, continue to meet quarterly. As to the courthouse security committee, I appreciate again the engagement of folks. I just have to give a shout out to Trish. I really enjoyed the conversations I've had with her. She certainly, in my opinion, seems to understand the importance of courthouse security. She's giving it a lot of attention and appropriate energy. So I certainly appreciate that. And we look to collaborating with her and the county, certainly as we move forward, trying to figure out what to do with the courthouse and other county properties. As to the criminal justice coordinating committee, we meet quarterly there. All of the different stakeholders in the criminal justice system, most recently treatment court, which is the CJCC committee is the oversight committee for that, had approved new policies and a new phasing structure for treatment court. So we're coming into line with the new best practices for treatment court, and we are implementing those. There's it's a major shift. So we've got a huge learning curve for treatment court, and we're excited about that. We are talking about more type of emergency management training for the courthouse and courtrooms, since those are significant needs and we all need to know what to do in an emergency. And then finally, the last thing I'll say is we are going to be discussing how to implement more bail monitoring type situations. And I'll go into that in future meetings, I'm sure, but I'll stop talking.
Okay, did you want to go over courthouse security report at this point?
I think I mostly covered it with, there are no recent incidents and I don't believe that we're aware of, and yeah.
So I think the Supreme Court piece of their security is going to be an eye opener too.
It is, and they are working in collaboration with the Sheriff's Department. I know that Clay was at our meeting, and they are going to utilize some of the resources that we have.
Yes. Mostly ours, so aside from their own team.
Yeah.
But
Can you repeat the dates that they're going to be here?
Monday, October 27.
Okay, anything else, Judge?
No, thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. Clerk of Courts, Department Activities.
Good morning.
Good
Can
morning.
you guys hear me?
Go ahead.
Hey, there's an echo, sorry. I'm sorry, this is like really, it's very distracting because there's such an echo.
We're not getting that here. Do you have
Yeah,
two devices
Okay.
going?
no. No, I do not. Okay, I'm just going to I'll try to ignore it and get through. Sorry, the budget summary that the judge referenced, or the report that the judge referenced, I had not sent to you. That was a budget summary as part of the 2026 budget prep process, and I had sent that yesterday to the county's fiscal team, to Trish and Derek and Tammy Newberry. And so that I sent that now to you guys, so for your reading pleasure after this meeting. And it does outline what we do, why we do, everything we do is mandated and outlined in statute as things that have to happen. There's nothing that we do that can be eliminated. That's one of the questions on the budget summary for departments to answer, and We don't do anything frivolous here. Everything we do is for a reason. And everything that we do, we have to do, and a lot of it is constitutional. I'm going to be presenting at a Wisconsin Counties Association conference on September 22nd. I've been asked to be part of a panel to educate on what the circuit court does, and specifically what clerks of court do within that system. The Wisconsin Counties Association, as you know, made court funding for the counties their #1 issue in the budget cycle. And that was in their partnership with the Clerk of Courts Association, a partnership that we fostered the last few years so that we could get more money for the counties. And I know a lot of people thought that wouldn't happen, there wouldn't be a state budget. Well, lo and behold, there is a state budget, and we were successful. We scored an additional $20 million for the counties within the court system. That'll be allocated as 10 million each of the 2 years in the budget cycle. The director of state court's office is the one that figures out the calculations, what each branch gets. In Richland County, we have 1 judge, so we'd be considered a 1 branch. So counties that are also a 1 branch, theoretically, they would get the same amount if they do the calculation as they've done before. There may be some factors that they're going to take in, such as use of court-appointed attorneys, use of certified interpreters, that sort of thing. So I can't tell you right now how much Richland County is going to net off of that, but I actually think that the first part of those payments we might see yet this year. We haven't received our large summer payment that we typically get from the state, and I think the holdup in that right now is the director's office trying to figure out how they are doing the calculation per the new budget with the $10 million per year increase to the county. We're also actively working, myself and another, a small group of clerks are working with Marcy Rainbolt from the Wisconsin Counties Association. We are trying to educate some legislators on the fees that are collected by the court. And Representative Allen from the Waukesha area, I believe, has taken up a comprehensive fee bill. He's kind of taking off of the work that was started here by our own representatives within the last couple of years. But through our education with the budget process, more legislators got on board and realized the serious problem with the funding for the counties. So this comprehensive fees bill is going to address every single fee that is retained by the counties within the court system. And so, like, many people think the court system just does criminal work. So legislators some of them are confused because they think that we're going to start assessing more fees onto people who come to court criminal wise, and that it's going to result in the court being pressured to waive more fees and all that sort of stuff. So we're trying to help people understand that those are actually, the county never gets a cut of that anyway. When something goes through criminal court and court costs are ordered, those are actually comprised of state mandated surcharges that go right back to the state. So this fee bill doesn't touch any of that. This fee bill is more about user fees, like filing fees, fees for lien satisfaction, mail fees, a lot of little fees that add up to big things. And the Wisconsin Counties Association, together with us clerks, we have kind of hammered out some numbers, and we think that this could actually have an even larger impact than the budget bill. The thought is that it might be an additional $30 million a year for counties. So that's exciting. A lot of work yet to do on that, but hoping that it helps us in the future. And as the judge alluded to, I did mention issues with the Polycom system when I did that budget summary that you can look at after the meeting. And I will talk more with Trish about that. That's probably going to be an ongoing discussion. We are just having more repetitive issues with the Polycom system in the courtroom, and it's an ever-evolving issue. As you can see, the number of cases that we have per year, we could have more than one issue a day with the Polycom and have to get MIS over here to work on that system. And, you know, technology wears out fast. So it is an incredible expense, but that doesn't mean that it's going to last for 10 years because it just isn't. And the system was purchased before COVID and installed during COVID. So it already has, you know, 5 years on it, I guess. And parts of it we've struggled with anyways, but I think now it's just technology is aging out. So we need to make a plan of what we do there. And that's a system that's used by not just the court, but by many agencies. And it also saves money for many agencies because it avoids the need for transport. And it also increases security within the building because you're not moving people that maybe you don't want to mix with the public. So we'll have more discussions on that, I'm sure. Any questions?
Questions from the committee? Thank you for the email. Looking that over right now. It's very good information. So thank you, Stacy.
You're welcome.
All right. Anything else? Anything else for the committee? All right. Moving on. Register and probate.
Yes, mine will be pretty short. Again, I've also been working on the budget this month and met with the committee. And so the major request I just wanted to be aware of was that we were requesting to increase our hours. We are one of the last offices in the courthouse. Myself and Jenny are both at 35 hours per week. And that has been in place since I started as register and probate back in 2018. So we made a request to increase the hours to 37 and a half. So that, and that is due to the workload of the office, both in case-wise. So again, we have 3 jobs within our office. We are the judge's judicial assistant, register and probate and deputy register and probate, and juvenile clerk and deputy juvenile clerk. And so there has been some increase, especially in some of the case types, but then also the things that we are re-implementing as far as, you know, there were some years where we were not having the court security meetings. We were not having the CJC meetings during COVID, and some of those we're having more roundtable discussions. And we're actually, I had a request for an additional table discussion on ME cases, on emergency detention cases, just to make the processes more efficient, because the communication has to take place from HHS, from social workers and adult protective services. It includes the district attorney's office. So there's a lot of players in the process when a case is created and goes through, you know, it's not just being filed and then it goes to court. There's a lot of communication that takes place with the facilities, with jails, mental institutions, doctors, reports, examinations that need to be done, orders that need to be signed. So again, just trying to reiterate that with all of everything that is being re-implemented and taking place, that need is there. So I just wanted to share that, why that request was made, and that I feel like it is warranted.
All right. Thank you. Questions for registered probate? All right. Thank you very much. Hearing none. Moving on, district attorney. I see there's a document in the folder from the sure you get a chance to look at that. Anything else from the DA? Any questions on that? Hearing none, emergency management.
For us, the good news is that FEMA had finally issued the notice of funding opportunity. So there's a pretty good chance that the guidance in there will remain the same, though the state is currently looking to see if they've altered any of the plan of work items. So I'll be watching that carefully to make sure that it gets plan of work. I'm assuming most of it's going to be the same as what it was last year. But any changes, I've got about 4.5, 5 months to catch up with. Hopefully they didn't make any significant alterations to the line of work. So there'll be that going on, but the funding should come through. As far as I know, it should be the same as what it was predicted before, 26,000 for MPG and 200 for Edinburgh. Also recently got some communications from the Ithaca School District that they want to update their safety plans. So I'll be working with Brandon Federally, school safety plan. And then the last thing is the courthouse security. We're going to try to get a little bit more active in having some more meetings. So I think I'm going to start coordinating with Clay and Judge McDougal on what do we want to do for this first round of trainings and possible tabletop exercise. And then LEPC meetings will be happening in the next month or so. So I'll be going through all facility plans and updating those, and then updating the strategic plan as soon as I get the meeting put in. And I have the contract that Vernon County signed, and I can finish up that part plan of work, and then that closes up the emergency management.
Very good. Any questions for emergency management? Any meeting? Thank you. PSAP 911 grants, NG 911. Anything new? You guys are moving forward on it?
No, I don't have any updates.
All right. Hopefully I'll have more information after this next week on that too, but get those turned in, get that information ready. That's all I ask. Radio tower project then. Anything with the radio tower project new? I see your equipment's coming in.
Yep, equipment's coming in, they're moving in. We met with the Fire Mutual Aid Association. They are curious. I thought we were going to discuss it on today's meeting, but it was not on the agenda. But they are curious about subscriber radio funds and stuff like that, how we're going to do it. And I said, I might have gave them a premature date, but I said we are discussing it. It's something we've been working on. And I told them maybe we'd have an answer by the end of the month, August.
The hope, I think part of the problem is not everybody's responded back with us with their whole radio inventory.
Yeah.
And until we have that, that's kind of what our delay is. So I know Mike is making another push to get those last few together.
So the sooner agencies respond, the sooner we can get that process out, and that's the collaboration that needs to happen. Okay, so that's, all right. Okay. All right, well, we will wait on that then. And anything else with the radio tower project? Hearing none, approval of the monthly invoices. Any questions from the committee on the monthly invoices? Yes. Approved.
There is
Motion to approve.
There is one invoice I was going to pull, and that's the civic media fund into the tower lease.
Yes.
Mike, Dave, we're trying to get a conversation with civic media. He has spoke with people at WRCO, but not specifically civic media yet. We're going to see if we can just do a 6-month payment. I don't think we'll have a need to be on that tower longer than 6 months. So we're going to see if we can work out a deal for 6 months instead of paying for a full year.
Right.
So, yep.
All right. So I have a motion to approve the monthly invoices from Manny. Looking for a second. Fleming seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you very much. Correspondence. Any updated correspondence? Buddy? All right, very good. Moving on, future agenda items. I think under the radio project, we need to make sure that we answer the subscriber question. So we'll make sure that's on the next agenda. Any other future agenda items? Hearing none, moving on to adjournment. Motion to adjourn.
To adjourn.
All right. Second by Manning, second by Fleming. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Made it.
You're welcome.